Hey, welcome to Topic Tome. This is Mike coming to you with a video about the disappearing magna core / magnetic weight discs from Beyblade G-Revolution. But first, I want to give a shout out to my brother's business, Woodruff Mills Creation. For all your engraving and etching needs, please contact Woodruff Mills Creations. I got this amazing wallet engraved with the base.exe logo, and it is so amazing. So I just want to give him a shout out because he does great work. Anyway, on with the rest of this. We see that in the first 7 episodes, and I'm going to focus mostly on Kai and Dronzer V2, but Drasil and Drigger V2, we do notice that there is probably some difference on those as well. I believe that Max's Drasil V2 at the end of G-Revolution had a magnetic weight disc. I could be wrong, and I'm not sure on Drigger V2 really at all, to be honest. But I've been going back over the series, and I noticed this recently, and it kind of racked my mind. Like, why would it be just all of a sudden they're not talking about it, they're not utilizing it? In real life, I think it simply boils down to they were pushing new product. That makes sense. The show was about selling toys, and to be honest, that's really what happened. But that's not satisfying. That's IRL answers. We don't like IRL answers. No, personally what I believe happened is that they rebuilt the attack ring, the blade base, the support ring, and the spin gear housing, and they used the same material that the magna cores were made of, thus giving the same form with increased function. We do know that in universe there are parts that they have a lot of parts that we did not have access to IRL. In one part of G-Revolution, Lee receives a high velocity weight disc from Ray that is talked about, and it's just basically a circular weight disc, I believe, or it's essentially a wide weight disc, but it's supposed to be a bit heavier and wider than the wide 10, from what it seems at least. Now, we also know that Jin of the Gale, the IRL Japanese Beyblade, had what was called a heavy metal core, which could fit in a V2 Neo spin gear housing, and it would be about 10 grams altogether. The magnetic weight disc was 15.1 grams. So Kai going to a 10 gram disc, the medium 10 gram disc, with a heavy metal core would make up for that loss of the weight. In fact, it would still increase it a bit, because the Neo either north or south spin gear core altogether, even if you factored in the metal weight one, I believe, was around 5 to 6 grams. Now, the original spin gear was 4 grams, and the one before it was just a piece of plastic with a metal Phillips screw through it. What I think happened is just that. The blades were rebuilt, as far as their main parts, out of the same, I believe they used neodymium in real life, but whatever the magna cores were made out of, allowing even more control while still giving the variable core change to the spin gear, as well as the upgraded weight disc, allowing more versatility and longevity in a blade fight or whatever. Therefore, it would be a lot more versatile overall than just switching out 2 parts, than to increase the ability overall with the remaining parts and then keep the customization for the gear and the weight disc. In my headcanon, that's what happened. I really would imagine that something like that would happen, because we do see in the series different Beyblades were created. They call them upgrades, or Kenny would say, "Oh, I was working on it," or upgraded your whatever. But really, it was just a new Beyblade was created. Like Dragoon Phantom getting upgraded to Dragoon Fighter with new data, they completely rebuilt Dragoon Phantom into Dragoon Fighter, because you still saw when they were working on it, he was out training with Kai, and then I believe the Majestics, the PPB All-Stars, Michael and Lee from the White Tigers in the first season for Tyson. And we see that entire thing go again and again in the series where, oh, we built you a new blade, or we upgraded it. Upgrades in that series were really just them saying, we built a new one for you. Here, slap your bit clip or bit chip in there and let's call it a day. So to be honest, if anyone had the ability, it was them. I don't know. That's just my headcanon. I would like to know what you guys think of it. I know it's not necessarily a thought or a theory that anyone really cared about, but it's one I kind of had on my mind since I've been rewatching the entire series, at least as far as the first 3 seasons. And heck, maybe somebody else had the same thought or wondered it back when the show was on, or maybe they're discovering for the first time, or like, hey, what's that about? Well, that's what I think it's about. Well, anyway, catch you later on Topic Tone. Peace.